need the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. You was outside trying to party, I was outside trying to save a soul. Bro said, can we go church in the morning? Praise break, please don't step on my toes. No, please don't step on my toes. Praising the King that sits on the throne. How can I put faith in mankind? I put mine in Christ alone.
Welcome to the Intercourse Show. I am your host, Mr. B. Today we have a very exciting show for you. Kevin Samuels interviews a self-proclaimed bad bitch. Pardon my French, but that's sort of the title of this video. Anyway, he hopefully gives her some good advice and humbles her with the truth. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video.
Advice, people will say, oh man, you've been married. You don't know what it is out here. Then you turn around and you out here dating, they'll say you ain't married. Why don't you just say you are losing? Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I am 40.
Okay. What do you got for me?
So I have a question. I am back out in the dating scene.
Okay.
I was married for 13 years. Sure.
13 years. Go ahead. I'm trying out these comments.
So just back into the dating scene. I've been dating for maybe about a year. I've been separated. My divorce isn't final, but I've been separated since 2019, February 2019. It's rough in these streets. I just asking you for tips. Go ahead.
What's the outcome you want to have?
Right now, I feel like I'm just, testing the water, seeing what it's like out there.
Okay, but eventually, what do you want to eventually have?
I do want to get married again.
You have any children?
I do. I have one daughter.
How old?
13.
Okay, so you'd be looking for a stepfather. You're not just dating.
Yeah, her dad is in her life. She goes back.
But still be a stepfather. True. So
very true.
Any man that you deal with is going to be a stepfather, which automatically changes the equation. So some basic questions.
Sure.
You were married for 13 years. At what age did you get married?
26.
Who filed for divorce?
I did.
On what grounds?
So in my marriage, I knew pretty early on, I could see that we weren't compatible. And that
irreconcilable differences?
I would say so. It wasn't anything, I wasn't cheated on as far as I know. Just we aren't
irreconcilable differences?
Yes.
I'm going to be dead honest with you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Irreconcilable differences in most men's mind is bullshit. How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
Dress size?
About an 8 now.
Okay. Irreconcilable differences meant basically that's something that's been added to the marital code after the 40s. It's really not for cause. So now you're starting to see the grass may not be greener.
It's feeling that way up front. I feel like there's a lot of lying and stuff like that up front.
Okay. Where is your ex? Has your ex seeing someone?
I know he's gone on dates, but he's not seeing anybody seriously.
Did you guys do counseling and therapy before you split?
We did.
How long?
Probably about the last year and a half, and I continued to go after that. And
there was no improvements?
No, our personalities have grown so far from each other that he kind of just shuts down and stuff. So,
living together apart. I'm gonna be honest, man. At 40 years old, I mean, you're cute, but the dating world, you're a divorcee out here with a 13-year-old. You're not going to get better than your ex. That's the reality, because the men you're going to be dating all got stuff too.
Yes.
and not many men are looking to step in to be a stepfather of a 13-year-old daughter with an active father, because that puts men in a lot of jeopardy. I'm going to say I'm a big proponent of keeping families together, because, and what city are you in?
Sacramento.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I travel a lot, so I felt like, okay, maybe, I've met a few guys. They don't live here.
You can have some sex.
not
can have
gotten to
sex.
that yet, but
You can have sex. You can date. You can do all that. But as far as walking down the aisle and getting married, chances are very low.
all right. Even if, well, not even if, but like I feel like of a couple of folks that I have met recently, they are seeming okay with my child. I date older guys, so they're mostly, their children are grown and gone.
Mhm.
So they've seemed okay with it because they've already raised kids.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's different. Okay. But that's different than having one in your house that's prepubescent.
True. Right. And I don't know. I didn't realize you're going to answer. I hope you guys can't hear her playing the piano right now.
Well, it doesn't matter. But I mean, you got to realize as a man, you're like, okay, all that has to happen is, Mommy, when you were gone, Aaron looked at me a certain way, or she tells her dad something. Look, it's just a bad deal for us men. There's just really no upside to that.
Right.
That is why I say we grew apart. We did this or did that. All right, you better go back together, figure it out, because you got skin in the game. He's got skin in the game. That's your daughter. Every situation from this, I don't know why it's been told to women that you can do that all by yourself, and women have been marketed to you guys that you can just get back out here and have another shot at it. And it's like, well, no.
Right. Well, and I felt like, since I've left and, it's been whatever, a little over 2 years, I feel very stress-free. Like there's no arguing, there's no any of that. And I get that those things will come in a future relationship.
Yep. Yep. They're stress-free. You how old again?
40.
It ain't gonna be real stress-free until you start to break down.
Well, hopefully it won't be for a little while. Well, and since I'm dating older, hopefully he's going to break down before me.
So then he'll die.
Well, so my parents were 17 years apart, but my father.
But those are your parents.
Right.
Man,
well, that's what I look to.
Nobody's perfect.
Right.
See, what you're basically saying is, I'm not happy. I don't care. You don't marry for happiness. I don't care about, you don't marry for happiness or love. You marry for duty and responsibility. You keep your family together because look at what you're doing now. This shit is stressful. You cannot tell me as a 40-year-old woman dating on the West Coast that this is stress-free.
Right. I think because it's new right now.
It's new, and everybody you deal with has their own drama, their own issues. If they have kids, though, you're going to be a stepmom too, or something else. Then you got to factor in whole new sexual experiences, opening yourself up to an entirely different possibility of strain of venereal diseases, financial. I'm like, we're not supposed to be getting divorced just because of irreconcilable differences. You can't even, honestly, you got to be realistic. I even ask you why you're divorced. You're like, it wasn't really for anything major.
Well, it's major when I feel like that. When I feel like
feel.
Well, I think anybody would determine that he was being negative, but okay.
Okay, and you were
positive.
Always.
No, not always. If it were right now, he would probably want to be married again with me.
And you need to go back to your husband, and I need to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You said the vows.
I know.
For better, for worse, richer, for poor, sickness, health, to death, do us part. It wasn't until we no longer liked each other. That wasn't in the vows. Until it was irreconcilable. That's what you said before your God, before you consummated and made a baby.
Very true. Yeah.
So carry your ass on back to your husband. Here's what you do: you get a 4-bedroom house. Your room, his room, y'all's room, your daughter's room.
So that's what you said. Y'all's room was one of them. When we were
living together, living apart together. You have your room, he has his room, y'all have your room. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I remarry, my room, her room, our room. I need my alone time.
We had the his room, our room the last year or so, but not the our room.
Okay, yeah, y'all can get together on Tuesday and Thursday, and the rest of the week y'all living y'all's own room. I mean, what's the difference? You're doing the same shit anyway.
With a new person.
With no history. Your daughter wants her daddy back.
Well, he's there half the week. I hear you.
Ma'am, you gotta you're laughing because even you got like he's making some points. It's just that okay. Maybe
no, I'm not saying you're not. My mom would love if I went back.
And you should too, because it doesn't sound like okay, he may not have tried hard enough. You may not have tried hard enough. Now y'all know that y'all are out here and it ain't shit out here. He's had a chance to see, we start taking for granted these relationships. And you think the grass is gonna be green on the other side. He's realizing it ain't shit out here either. There's only so much new pussy you can get.
Yeah.
We'd rather have a good night's sleep and a nice bowel movement. I mean, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, I'm being honest. You're not kids anymore. So it's like, okay, you got to relearn somebody all over again. And it doesn't sound like y'all had anything really major. It sounds as we don't have a community or a culture that supports marriage. Because if you'd have came around a bunch of married people and a community that supports marriage, people would have told you, girl, you better go back home and work this out. And people would have told him, man, you better go on back home and fix this.
Right.
Versus get out here and live your best life. That ain't what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, put your family back together because ain't shit out here. I'm out here. Ain't shit out here.
Right.
Venereal diseases and crazy shit. Fix your family. If it's not anything that's majorly domestic, rampant infidelity, you're not in danger. That's why I say maybe, just maybe. And here's why I'm telling everybody why I'm so adamant about this. I have a friend. He and his wife were like the War of the Roses. They had been together young, and they were just adamant on getting a divorce. And they just made our lives horrible. When they finally got their divorce, something happened. And I'm not going to say what happened because I don't want to know people know what I'm talking about. Something happened to where they ended up having to still live in the same house.
Right.
For a period of time. Nothing had changed. They got a divorce. The paperwork was fine. They were still living like husband and wife. Same home. You know what happened after that paperwork was signed? In roughly about 30 days, they start talking to each other and playing dominoes and duck hunt and video games and this and that. Several years later, they are still living there. Just like they were in their teens and early 20s. But the pressure in their mind of being married, it makes no sense, but it made sense to them. They just dissolved their marriage.
Right. It worked for them.
And they remarried.
Oh, okay.
Because they're like, we're still living here. We're not getting the tax benefits, such and so forth. So I'm not going to say the people's name, but
right.
Anyway.
I've heard of that. Being divorced and then getting.
I want to stop here and add something. Kevin is probably one of the more misunderstood people out there. This advice he gave this young lady was actually spot on. There isn't a critical issue in her relationship with her ex-husband that would have caused them to break up. But for whatever reason, we build these visions of grandeur in our minds, and we think that the sky is more bright outside of our relationship. The grass is greener outside of our relationships. And so we end up dissolving the relationship to sort of recultivate a brand new relationship, learning someone new again, getting reattached, reinvesting. And you're doing this in your later years, your late 30s, your early 40s, or even in your 50s. And that's not a fun experience, right? I mean, it takes a lot to kind of get adjusted and accustomed to someone, to get used to their quirks, to get used to their ways, to essentially mold your life with them. And then when you're having to do that every other year because you're going from this one relationship to that one relationship, it drains you. And what he's saying to her is, if you didn't have an issue where the man was abusing you, if you didn't have an issue where the man was a serial cheater, if you didn't have an issue with the man and you're breaking up the relationship solely because you're not happy in this particular moment of your life, that's not a good reason to get a relationship dissolved. You know, it's best that you figure out ways to stick together and keep your family intact, because in the long run, it's healthier, it's better for the generations to come to see that type of example demonstrated. Marriage is not always rose petals and butterflies. Like, things sometimes take work. There are going to be times when you're not interested in the person. There's maybe times, ebbs and flows of the relationship. But there's something to be said when you stay consistent. It's like with your job. If you're working and, you know, you just not feeling the job this month, you don't like the new manager that was hired, and you've been at this job for 15 years, to go and start anew at a brand new location to build up where you've gotten yourself to doesn't always make the best sense. And sometimes you have to weather the storm and deal with that changing shifts and changing phases of that particular company or that person. So I think this is one of the things that I think Kevin got scrutinized for, is that he was constantly trying to get people to find ways to stick together, not find ways to be apart. And unfortunately, it didn't translate to everyone. But let's continue the interview.
Getting back together.
I mean, do you seriously want to risk bringing other men? Because you don't want to run the risk of bringing someone around your daughter and something happen. You would never forgive yourself.
Very true. What do you think about? So I've felt like no one has met my daughter. And I don't plan to bring anyone around her if they are outside of me being. No one's going to move in with me, and I'm not moving in with anyone unless we're married. That's just that. I felt that. So she'll graduate at 17, and she's 13 now. I'm not necessarily in a rush to hurry up and jump into something else, but you know, I
still customize for him. 13 years with him, and you're gonna do what? You'll be 44. If you marry a man around your age or a little bit older,
not a little bit older, up to older.
Okay, but then that means you still have 13 plus years with that man.
Right. Not a good idea.
I'm just saying. Okay, you could go learn somebody.
If you're a man, these 3 are the only fragrances you need this year. Agar Gold, inspired by Tom Ford's Oud Wood. Cherry Smash,
Somebody else knew. Or you guys could honestly sit down and say, all right, what would it take for me to be able to look at you for the rest of your life? Because there's love there. You're just not in love.
For sure.
All right, then you can build on that. There's love there. There's just not like. What would it take for me to be able to have to like you, to be able to tolerate you, to finish out my contract? All right. That's why I become more of a fan of this living apart together thing, because I think it's the time that so many people spent together, especially younger couples. Because at 40, man, you're who you are. You're not going to change. And folks are, you know, I just don't know. 13-year-old daughter, I got memories, I got family, I got history. I'm going to just say, figure it out. Figure it out, because it sounds like he's single. See, when you said that he's single, to me, he probably realizes, damn, I didn't try hard enough. I let this go without a fight. And you said he wants to get back together.
I won't say that he wants to. I think if I said, hey, let's try to work it out, he would be open to that. He would never reach out to me because that's not his personality. That's part of.
Okay, he wouldn't reach out because that's pride and ego. That's stupid. But okay. But if you were open to getting back, having the conversation, he'd have it.
Yeah.
All right. When's your daughter's birthday? What month?
August. She just turned 13.
Okay. Well, say your daughter for her birthday wanted us to have this conversation.
Oh, gosh. Oh, she would love it. I know.
Then have the conversation, man.
I will think about that. It's just been like, it got to the point where, like, with our.
I know it's not easy. I get it, but there's more there than not. You don't have hard feelings. You don't have hard feelings for this man. You're disappointed.
Yes.
I get it. And I'm sure he knows he's disappointed you. So you have that conversation. What's the worst that could happen? You could end up having better communication and co-parenting and then move forward into the rest of your life knowing you did everything you could and give him a chance
But I
to
felt
not
like
be an asshole. Hmm?
I did feel like I did that the last about year and a half.
No, I get it. I know. This is the part that sucks. See, this is the part that sucks about relationships. I did this. He didn't do enough of that. Relationships are supposed to be 100-0. You give 100%, expect nothing. That's what it's supposed to be, because expectation is the root of frustration. Because when you expect something you don't get, then you get frustrated, disappointed. I get it. I know. But what I'm asking you to consider is you have a family that would like you to get back together, a child that would like you to get back together. You can look at my show and see that there ain't shit out here. It ain't like there's something better around the corner.
Right.
And I think maybe there's a possibility that if you guys sat down and had an actual honest conversation, even a mediated conversation, that you may be able to find a new appreciation for one another and have better than you've had the previous years. Because the alternative is to get back out here and do this stupid shit. And that ain't benefiting you or him.
That's true. Or our daughter.
There you go. There you go. Just think about it. Just think about it. The worst that could happen is you can have better communication.
All right. I'm hoping that my TikTok followers are watching they've been telling me to try to get on your show. I'm like, I tried, but I never get selected.
Well, I don't know who your husband is, but this may end up getting picked up, so he may see it anyway. He may make the phone call. If you're a husband, hey man, make the phone call. Step up, man.
Oh gosh.
Putting a black family back together, I'll take that one. All right, have a good night, man.
Right. Thank you. Bye.
You know what? Let's get real for a second.
Okay. So that was Kevin Samuels giving this young lady a really, really good advice about how she should proceed in reconciling her relationship with her ex-husband. I think he was spot on with what he had to say. It's harder to work on the relationship than it is to walk away from it. And what he was able to determine is that it didn't take a lot to see that this wasn't a deeply personal, fractured relationship. I think they still both loved each other. I think they still may have had some disappointments in terms of how each other behaved, but there was no bad blood. She didn't speak ill of her ex-husband, and the dating process for her, having to restart the whole process all over again, didn't seem like it was something she was enthused about doing. And so in his case, where there isn't any physical abuse, there isn't any emotional abuse, it just seems like they hadn't really honed in on their communication and weren't expressing their point of views effectively to each other. He said, look, I think it's best you guys have a conversation to figure out how to keep your family intact. I think that's phenomenal advice. That's biblical advice. Again, there are instances where it does make sense to walk away from a relationship. But in this case, it seemed like they had a pretty healthy relationship. They just weren't, the timing may not have worked out. And Kevin gave us some good advice. And I think that's also, for anybody who's on the fence about their relationship, that's also something to consider. Sometimes we don't have the skills necessary to bridge the gap, and finding a therapist or some sort of couples who are further ahead, who've worked through those issues, it can prove very useful in terms of helping you find the tools to be amicable with your significant other and to work things out. So I think Kevin gave her phenomenal advice. But what say you? I definitely ask that you guys weigh in on the conversation and let your voices be heard. If you haven't liked and subscribed our channel, The Intercourse Show, we definitely invite you to do so. We like to have the dialogue. We like to get different vantage points and viewpoints from different walks of life. So we welcome your participation in your subscription. So definitely lock in and connect with us. With that said, I am signing out. I'm wishing you all a blessed and productive weekend. Until we meet again, God bless.